The SPEAR programme is a 6-week-long coaching programme that supports young people aged 16 to 24 to find work, education or training. So the first little bit is 6 weeks long, that's called SPEAR Foundation, but we actually supplement that as well with a year's worth of support. So after they finish the 6-week programme, where the whole purpose of that is to move them into work and get them work ready, we support them for a whole year. So if there's anything that they still need from us support-wise, or if they're not in work, that year helps them to navigate those challenges and allows them to succeed and keep moving up the career ladder. I think the main ways in which we've seen COVID affect young people is, I think it is heightened anxiety and panic attacks and people not actually wanting physically to come into this space, and even getting them here is a real challenge. So I think something that we've had to be a lot more intentional about is, well, how do we meet with people one-on-one before they come into a group environment? A lot of the young people haven't really been used to coming out of their houses, have they, for the past year, 2 years? And I think the pandemic in that way has played a lot into their insecurities of social anxiety that probably existed anyway before the pandemic, but it's just been heightened since then. So we ran the programme online for a year and that worked. It was fine, but actually physically getting them back into this space has been quite difficult because a lot of them are anxious, not only about COVID, but also around what their social interactions can look like. And we have seen a lot more safeguarding cases since we've been back in person of young people that are quite low, suffering with anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts. So that's been really difficult to try and navigate through all of that, because obviously mental health plays so much into how ready we feel to get a job and be able to sustain one. We've tried to work out ways, well, how do we address some of those things through the curriculum on the programme, through our approach as coaches, to really support young people at this time, because it has been so difficult for them. One of the main things about the SPEAR programme, which we coach on right at the start of the programme, is around mindsets. So we're not psychologists, we're coaches on the programme, but we think a lot about how do the mentalities that you have play into how you see the world and approach decisions that you have to make in life. So we do coaching around mindsets such as victim and the power mentality, where they recognise that even though so much situationally is out of their control, what can they control? And that is themselves and how they respond to things. So even that, I think, plays into mental health and how can they do what's best for them to get themselves into a place where they are getting better. So it really empowers them to make their own decisions for themselves around certain things. And I do think that is really freeing for them. They find new freedom, I think, and a new sense of identity from that place, which is really cool to see. One of the ways that we can really help young people is just by you initiating a conversation. I think they have sometimes such low confidence, they don't even know how to start a conversation, right? That's probably never been something which has been taught to them, which is why when we do on small talk on the programme, it's actually really significant, because they're like, I don't actually know how to get to know a person. So I think if you can even walk up to a young person and be like, hey, how's your week been? What have you been up to this weekend? I think it will make them feel really seen, that you actually want to get to know them a little bit, you're interested in them. But I think then it's like, oh, well, if that's been done for me, what did that look like and how can I do that for someone else? So I think even just that conversation can go so far. The SPEAR programmes are run in connection with the church. So each SPEAR centre is run by a group of trustees, all of which go to the church that it's attached to. So for the SPEAR centre in Bethnal Green, we're run in partnership with St Peter's Church. And we physically use the space. So we're in the church building now, but just in a room at the back. So the young people are coming into church every single day, seeing what that's like to be in an environment which they might not ever have stepped into before. It's really breaking down the four walls of the churches, inviting people in, but also people in the congregation come and mock interview for us, come and sit on an external panel, but also come to the young people's celebration event at the end as well. So they really feel like they have ownership of the programme as well. So the congregation are so intertwined with the trainees. The whole purpose of the SPEAR programme, yes, is to get them into work, but to tell these young people that they do belong and they are seen and that they have a place. So I think in that way they fit so well, the vision and the mission statement of the church, but also SPEAR, because it's like, how can we show people they belong and that they are welcome here, and SPEAR is just one of the ways that we do that.